I called you in here today because I wanted to talk to you about just League in general. I figured since you're still streaming, I'm already streaming. We can just hop right into it. It's, it's perfect. You're
Sounds
all
good to
warmed
me.
up. You're coming off of a solo queue win. You know what I was thinking when you're
Yeah,
about
I'm
to queue
riding
up
a
for
high,
a
man.
game? Yeah. You were about to play, and you're like, I want to hop into one more game, and a part of me just wanted to be like, don't do it because
No.
yeah, if you lose and then you talk to people, you know better than anybody. Like the vibe.
It's just this, and then I'm sitting here. Well, if they would have come top one more time, I think I could have had that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long you've been playing League? Probably longer than I have, because I started in, like, season 3,
Yes,
right?
season 1.
Yeah, you've been playing for a while, and like one of the champions. What brought you to Rengar, by the way?
So
You started with Riven,
how old
right?
are you? How old are you actually?
I'm 32.
32. Yeah, you're just my age, right? So like, Predator,
Mhm.
Aliens,
Mhm.
Aliens versus Predator, the game, like way
Yeah.
back. Yeah, I used to love that shit. Loved it. So when I saw a champ was going to be like Predator, and then I saw Kha'Zix as well. I used to play Kha'Zix as well, but they kind of messed with made him a little clunky.
I do remember.
know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's totally what got me into it. And then got super lucky off of like a Reddit thing, and so now I'm just known for Rengar, right? So like, got to stick with it for like views and for my community. They're a bunch of Rengar players, so may as well keep playing him, and I enjoy him. I love jumping out of brush. Satisfying.
But do you regret, like, or not regret? Do you wish that you could, like, because you just talked about something very interesting and talked about it's like the one trick pony lifestyle, right? And how first, because I don't want to piss anybody off with these interviews, because I never, like, that's not really my goal with these. It's mostly just to hang out, and like for me, I'm just
burn every bridge.
Yeah. It's like if I come on here and I'm like, oh, you're just a one trick pony, like, you have to be honest with yourself and honest with your community to say whether or not you are. Would you consider yourself a one trick pony?
More so lately, because I've just been doing Rengar only a ton. Yesterday I was fucking looking ugly on the Riven, right? Like,
because you haven't played it in a while.
Yeah, I get maybe 1 or 2 Riven games in a day, but Rengar has had items change a little bit and his identity and stuff, like, and win rates went down a little. So like, all the Rengar players want, how do I build now that Essence Reaver it's gutted, it lost 10 AD, it's the worst item in the game, how do I play this game now? They get confused, every patch that comes up. So you just spam games. Or when the jungle got the baby nerf, I made an account and I did jungle, and I did literally one jungle path every single game, same build every single game, and showed that like the jungle, A, it's still OP as fuck, B, it's not hard to play Rengar jungle, guys. Like, we're not Dardoch, we don't have to execute the Krugs, right? You can actually kill those things. It's just, they it's the League community, I guess. Everybody wants to be told what to do rather than figuring shit out, I guess.
Yeah, I would say, like, Rengar's weird though, because when he always shows up, like when I look at like Korea solo queue, for example, and I check top lane, Rengar always has like a weirdly high win rate. Is that just, do you think that's just only one trick ponies that are making up that win rate?
I think ping really helps. So like your W is entirely dependent on getting your like the fattest heal you can get, right? It's not really about getting the damage off unless if you're AP. And even then, it's not, like, you mainly want to focus on, you look at your gray health and look at the burst they're throwing at you, and you want to heal the biggest amount imaginable. If you got 8 ping, that's a lot easier. It's just you have 0 time in between that, right? And then on top of it, your 4-stack W is a QSS. So if you can perfectly time a QSS on a lot of the CC, you will definitely benefit from lower ping as opposed to higher ping, right? So like, on top of that, I think like NA kind of, I don't know what to think about NA really, like as compared to Korean solo queue, but EU also has high elo top lane ringers. Like Wipo literally played it at Worlds, right?
Yeah, there was also
Same with,
Worlds. What was the
SOFM picked tank Rengar, right?
Yeah, that was real cool too.
In NA, a lot of Rengars, like I'm basically the only one you'll see that'll build different shit. Because I've been doing it since day one. I've been playing Rengar since day one, right? So it's like I like building different stuff because it just, if I built the same thing every game, it gets boring, gets repetitive. It's like, way to go! I can one shot an ADC. Good, cool. I did it. Peak performance.
Yeah, I've been watching. I've seen Scrub Noob play this champion, and I don't really know of anybody else that's actually playing him.
Oh, for like NA?
Yeah.
So there's Vortexi. I don't know how the fuck to say his name. Vortex. He's a top laner. There was only Rengar from back in the day.
Yeah.
His name, I think he name changed or something. I don't remember. But he also, I think he plays a little top lane. And then there's Chaos Rain.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
He plays a bit of jungle.
I've seen that guy a couple times when I.
Yeah, he's got like I don't know what the hell is up with him. He like will show up and he'll be around for a week or two and then he just disappears. But that's for NA players.
Yeah.
There's EU has Pussy Poo. It's like a jungle. I think jungle Rengar. I've only seen him play top lane though, for some reason. And then there's Dopamine plays jungle, and then obviously Buipo. Buipo's a god. I love Buipo.
Yeah, his stream has been really good. Someone else I was talking to, I think it was Taco about this. The last chat I did was like, man, this guy is like obviously as good as he is, and then his streams are pretty informative too. It's kind of like the triple threat, right? Like it's super hard to actually be pro material and then to actually stream and not just like completely fall off when you stream, right? Because it's tough.
Good streamer, good player, good commentary. Like it's just it's like the trifecta.
Yeah.
Where have you watched Adrian play? You watched Adrian Riven, right? A little bit his stream.
I invited him to do this. Hold on, now we get to flame him together because I invited him to do this, and he's like, I'm good.
He has nerve issues. He definitely has like something similar to me, where I don't want to be relied upon. I almost said no.
Oh, really?
Because I don't want to say, oh yeah, I'll do it, and then I'll just back out last second. I don't want to do stuff like that. Hate doing stuff like that. Adrian, I don't know if it's similar like that. He's told me he doesn't want to like let people down. He's a cool guy. He's a nice guy. It's just
no, I'm just teasing. Like I actually really like him. Yeah, I really like him, and I don't think he knew what these were gonna be. Because I think at the time that I asked him, it was kind of in the infancy of just like talking to different people and seeing how it would go and see how it would resonate. So like, I'm sure a part of him was just like, I don't know about this. Like this fucking NEACE guy, I don't know if he can hold the conversation.
Seems pretty lame.
Seems sus. I'm not doing this.
Talking to a league player for an hour. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that.
That's literally what it is too. Like I don't know, man. This is
I queue up on purpose to play with these fucks. I don't know if I want to be talking to them too.
This is a bad idea. Every time I've tried to talk to him so far in my life, it doesn't go very well. I love it, man. That's so true. It's so true. I don't know how. Yeah, go ahead.
The chat that we had with, I don't know if you caught that. It was me, Adrian. Irelia carries you. Certain band streamer, you've heard of him, Mr. Hashin.
Oh yeah, is he allowed to stream on Twitch again or no? I have no idea.
I don't know. That guy's an idiot. But it was a whole bunch of us all talking about top lane. You remember back when top was like everybody was crying about it. Top is so useless. It's the worst role. And so Adrian is sitting there in the background like, dude, you just gotta like, if these champs are so OP, just play them, Hashinshin. Because he's sitting here like, I can't pick Jax and just take every fight and win my games. Like I have to do other stuff. And it's like, yeah, dude, you gotta use your brain sometimes when you play the game.
Yeah,
a strategic game, you know. And so like, and then ICU, he was kind of like talking only about Irelia as well. It's like Adrian and I are talking about like actual shit in regards to top lane. Like, yeah, well, if you know the timers, Hashinshin, you can kind of like back off and play around that and stuff. It's like,
yeah,
bro.
he doesn't do that though. Like people kept asking me to put him on this and talk to him. I'm a little timid to do so because like I don't mind him like personally. I don't really give a shit either way. Like I'll talk to anybody. But I'm a little torn because he gets a lot of he gets a pretty big, or I mean with the Twitch ban he doesn't get as big of a megaphone, right? I don't want to turn this into like, you know, let's bash
a flame war.
Yeah, because I don't want to, because I think one of the cool things about what I've been doing so far with these is that it hasn't really devolved into that. Like I had Drew Toot in here, he was
calls.
He was flaming fucking Xpetsu. He was, but like that's about as far as it's gone.
Fucking good though. I like
he's
that
chill,
guy.
and he has real life stuff going on, right? Because all
He's
League
clean.
really is, all League really is just kind of a balancing act between like how much volume do you want to put in, you know, once you get to the level, right? Like once you pass like the diamond level, like how much volume do you want to put in? How much self reflection do you have? And then the balance of like, if you're trying to be a queue times. How badly do you want content? And how badly do you, like you said, you want to wait to get that, you know, high elo, you know, banner or whatever, the little fucking icon, right? But like with Hashinshin, the reason why I was scared to kind of put him on this, and I'm still a little scared, like I'm sure I could probably message him and probably work it out, but like I'm scared because the guy, no disrespect to the guy, he just doesn't learn his lesson. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't
There's a
learn,
spectrum.
because I'm obviously an educational like content creator, right? Like
Yeah, you've been coaching forever.
yeah, I have a vested interest in like when I put people on.
I did want to ask you.
Yeah.
Get the elephant in the room out of the way. How's Fortnite?
Fortnite is long.
How you liking Fortnite?
Long gone.
It was back when it came out. You dipped. I think Night Blue dipped. Who else?
Yeah. I thought it was just me and Night
Think
Blue.
of anyone else? I know. What's his name? Curry Shot GG was playing shooters.
Yeah.
He came from League, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fortnite. Too many kids, huh? Too many children.
You put this conversation out there, and I'm kind of glad that you did, because so when I swapped, I swear, like people are so friggin' stupid. So people actually thought that I left Fortnite for money, which is fucking hilarious, because if I could just
made more playing Fortnite.
No, I didn't make more. That's what I'm saying. Like I didn't make anything. I made jack shit. I was making so much more playing League, and people thought that like I was leaving Fortnite. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People thought that I left Fortnite for money, but that's not what happened. I left to play Fortnite because I just hated League at the time. I was just burned out, and Fortnite was fun as hell at the time. I don't know if you played it at all, but it was like it was fun. Like it was fucking great. And then they kind of
watched a little.
The way they balanced it was weird. Like it's almost like as fast as it was popular, they were immediately like just nerfing skill gaps so fast in that game. Like imagine, okay, you've been playing League since like season 1, okay? So you know what I'm about to talk about, kinda. It's like League has had its skill gap nerfed, you would agree, over time, right? Like I'm talking about
we might have seen the player
actives.
base catch up. Like casuals might have caught up a tiny bit as well.
True.
But yeah, definitely
Yes.
like you know, when assassin metas happen, it's usually pretty high skill gap. Skill ceiling. Whereas or maybe 1v9 carry, I guess, would be another way to describe it.
Yeah, I remember when I started, it seemed like there was so much more agency, and I think that's fair what you're saying too, because I don't want to discount
people tried more too.
What, back in the day they tried more?
Yeah, I think we've had the player base has slowly just gotten poisoned with like running it down, soft inting, win trading, shit like that. Season 3, season 4, 5, win trading literally didn't exist.
Yeah,
it just wasn't even a thing. Like I mean, I had a boosting site way back then, and I never ever did this shit. I queued up and I won the game, and that was that. The worst thing you'd run into was like scripters and then drop hackers.
The drop hack. I remember
Speaking
that. I was
of
around
Adrian
for that. Yeah.
And QQ. Yeah, the drop hackers, these idiots. It's like
yeah, the game,
I think just win.
Yeah, I know. It's like I feel like one of the things that the community had to kind of deal with was like once the game, I always talk about it as like the game has become more solved. So like people start understanding like, oh, you know, let's say I'm facing you and I'm playing against you in like whatever, right? Like whatever game. It doesn't even matter the elo. But the point is like, say my jungler comes top and gives you a double kill. Like we just like misplay it and we get a double kill to you on Rengar early. It's like, oh, fucking great. Like this is going to be so
you're going to have an issue then.
Yeah, it's very solved. Like if I get a double kill early on Tryndamere, like, and you know the guy playing it has played for a while, like you're just gonna get molested for a while, and that's just what it is, and it really sucks. And since the beginning, when we all started playing this game, or when it was early in the game, there was still time for people to, I don't even know if it was like they would fuck up. It was just like you weren't sure. You know what I mean? You weren't sure what was going to happen yet. You weren't sure what the eventualities were going to be with this guy having a bunch of kills. But now it's very assured. It's like, well, we're in season 11 now, boys, and Graves got the double kill and perfect farm.
See, when a stat ball gets ahead,
yes,
you're in trouble. So if like your comp for Rengar anyway, if your comp is kind of shitty against me, I can build an item that'll make it so that those two, that double kill, that solo XP, the 2-level advantage, the crashed wave, all that shit will line up so that I can just guarantee the win, right? Yeah. Certain comps. I think it's with how many OP ass champs there are now, it's a little less like that. Like you were talking about the skill gap, like, oh, you carry and win it. And it is solved more where like if your support has 2 neurons, right? They can decide to come up with the 3 men and maybe get that comeback gold, kill the guy, and he's dead for an extra 10 seconds or whatever because he's way over leveled. You kind of have agency up against that. Whereas back in the day, I came from Dota as well, so like I was just always good.
Yeah. So this game wasn't very hard for you when you even joined in.
Abuse an advantage, so it's a little less of the not knowing what to do. Like season 1, my Cho'Gath, I had a 90 win rate. Season 2, I kind of stopped. I think that's when Diablo 3 came out, right? Because I was doing the auction house a little bit with that, and then I came back when like a couple of my friends were going pro. And I was like, dude, I want to make a fucking paycheck.
I want to go
pro. I want to do this. Yeah, exactly. And then I got like the Reddit thing, and I was like, I don't have to go pro. I could just stream. This will be nice. And then got DDoSed for a hot minute. Did the boosting site, came back to streaming.
That time when like people were DDoSing and that became trendy was just so terrible. That was like the worst.
Yeah,
when that
not
came
cool
out
at all.
No, not cool, man.
And
not cool.
That's when Skype was like it had the vulnerability that a lot of people didn't know about.
Oh, I knew about it. You know how I can tell you the story. I know what you're gonna tell.
Oh yeah, I learned about it because of that shit.
Yeah. Because I was playing League one day and I was playing in Upper Diamond. This is how you know, guys, back in the day when you were getting good at a game. So basically, I started actually getting decent and like getting over the hump. And then I logged into a game. My Skype was the same. Remember, my old name used to be NEACE with fucking 3s. Remember NEACE with 3s?
Nathriacy.
Yeah. You're like, Nathriacy? What the hell is that? Yeah, that's why, as you can see, this is why I rebranded years ago, is because this was ridiculous. But
how do you say that?
What, Nathriacy? It was just NEACE. That's all it was. Yeah.
Yeah, duh. I'm saying that you always get in the viewers. How do you say that?
How do you say that? Is that Nancy?
What's your name? Is it like N3AC or your Nancy?
Nancy all the time was Nancy. That was the big one.
What kind of guys they?
Yeah.
Do you knew that was a girl's name before you choose it?
Yeah, exactly. I just get flamed and then shit on. But yeah, so I remember the first time I ever got towards any high elo at all. I was in a game and the champ select loaded, and then all of a sudden my game just started lagging, and then I couldn't figure out what was going on, and it kept happening. Like I kept queuing up and the game like the game would be fine, and then I would just lose.
It throttles on. And you think it's Comcast.
Yeah, I thought it was my internet provider.
They're throttling me, those bastards.
Yeah. And then I start looking around, and then I realized that my name was the same as my Skype name. And then all they were doing was they were looking up my...
All they had to do was the resolver.
Yes, the resolver. And they'd go, is this... I remember what it was. The nerds would literally look at every person in the lobby. This is how sad it was back then, guys. They would look up every person in the lobby, and then they would go to the resolver, and they would see if it was like cross-referenced. And if it was the same IP, they would send what was it? Just like a bunch of packets. It was just like a
Yeah, you just DDoS them.
you just DDoS it from
Overload
there.
their download with fucking upload. So I don't tilt out of in-game things or anything, but my connectivity issues, my PC issues, anything like that, I fucking tilt, dude. I get so mad. I get so enraged. I literally broke my desk, my old desk, the other day because my internet crashed.
Really?
For the fucking, like, it was 2 or 3 weeks. Every single stream would crash at least like twice.
That's
last
insane.
month.
Yeah, that's so annoying too. And especially when you when you can't explain it. That's the other thing. When you can't fucking, like, when you've got the internet provider or whatever where they just go down and you just can't, like, you don't know when it's going to come back, and you're like, but it's my job though. Like, do you understand?
I've got 2 connections, right?
You do?
And I've done business class back in the day. I pay premium to keep this shit up just so I can stream, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I've even had to mess with my schedule when I stream during COVID because of the stupid ass, like, everybody's in classes, right? So I couldn't stream during the daytime, so I'd just be doing it overnight, which is, that's the worst for solo queue, but
you mean like you mean like the fucking weirdo hours, like the vampire hours?
Oh yeah,
that's fucking terrible.
Nosferatu's all queuing up to drain your fucking soul. I'm gonna get this guy to tilt on stream, everybody, and then I'm gonna clip it. Good job, man. Way to go.
Yeah, that's the worst. You feel like I know you've had to deal with, and like I said, I'm not trying to act in one way or another with it, because quite frankly, it is what it is, and I've had to deal with Reddit hate and bullshit and whatever.
Yeah, all the dipshits. Well, that's mainly astroturfing is what I get to run into, which I'm sure pretty much every personality we get astroturfing, which you know what that is, right?
You go ahead and explain it for
fake posts. Yeah, explain for the class. I know what sex is, but could you explain it? So astroturfing is on any social media where you have a paid presence or just a vested interest, where they will post fake news, right? They post bullshit. The user base, it's just bots. A lot of times you'll have like click farms. That's astroturfing. Yes. You can have something like view bots on Twitch. That was astroturfing. Shit like that, that artificially interferes with the natural habitat of a forum or social media space, whatever. That's astroturfing. So like on Reddit, that's Tarzan is banned from Reddit for astroturfing. He would have he has like 20 alt accounts on that, on Twitch, on all kinds of shit. He has this whole Discord that he like has them brigade posts.
Yeah, that like
gotta pay attention to names, you can see like
you gotta be
people every fucking time talking all kinds of nonsense.
You gotta and that's you gotta be careful with these conversations, or at least I do, because I don't want to like. I don't.
Well, I know what I'm talking about, and I'm not gonna obfuscate anything with like fake news for you. I won't ruin it for you, and I won't try to burn any bridges for you either.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there are people who get banned from the space because they astroturf stuff. So like there was you remember back in the day, there was a content creator Skype group where they would upvote posts or downvote posts, depending on if you're in the group. They all got banned. That's astroturfing. That's they do steer the conversation. It's effective. That's why it exists.
Oh, it still exists though. But that's what what I was gonna say. Exactly. Like that isn't gone.
Definitely exists.
Yeah, that didn't disappear.
But a lot of the times, no one else is invested in it. Like no one else gives a shit. Obviously, it's my living. It's my job, right? So I pay attention to it. If you look at if my name comes up and someone's shit talking it, it's the same fucking like 15 names every single time. Same fucking people. And I wonder where they're coming from. I wonder who's telling them to do it.
Yeah. That type of stuff right there. And there's so many communities where it's like, if you're not careful, if you piss off the wrong people, or if you talk to the wrong people, piss off
the shitty people.
Yes,
because shitty people will cheat in order to bring you down to their level or bring you down below them or whatever, right? Like
people listening to this now, they're like, dude, what the is he talking about? Imagine this. You want to make content for your game. You're passionate about it. You're looking at people making a living and you think, I want to do that too. I
want to get in on that.
I've got at least 30 people message me in the past week about how they could coach for me, fucking work with me, fucking whatever, right? And like, because they see it. They're like, wow, this guy's making money doing this. I want to make it too. At the time when we started, guys, Reddit was the shit. Tell me I'm wrong, Dakar. Tell me I'm wrong. Reddit was the shit.
Yeah, it was straight up the number one. It was make or break.
It was absolutely make or break. As far as followings are concerned, he probably should have never gotten one. And I mean this in the most non-aggro way. I'm
objectively speaking, you're absolutely right when you say it. Like,
yeah, I'm talking purely off of it.
It's like the daytime court television where everybody wants to watch like the fight over custody, and like this guy beat his wife but she loves him so much, and the judge is saying, well, you're such an asshole and you really need to clean up your act right here. That's what his content was back then. It was legit like him talking about how bad everyone needs to kill themselves.
I don't want to.
That was his content.
I don't want to have a bunch of people like NEACE hates Tyler 1. That's not what I'm saying. Tyler won before.
I'll say it for you. I hated who he was
playing with
back
him.
then.
I hated playing with him.
I hated having him in my games. Yeah. I hated having to watch his stupid fucking asshole personality on the streams. But now he's
cool now. He's cool now.
Yeah, exactly. He's an adult now.
He definitely was not.
I wish that the effect that it had on the community didn't occur though. Like them unbanning him, them going back on it, as well as never banning anyone else afterward, and all this stuff they took a weird line. It has really fucked over the community overall, because everybody just griefs, runs it down. They're all a bunch of fucking assholes now. Like League has gotten poisoned, and I think that was an indirect like effect. I'm not saying that's the entire effect.
I don't think that's all him either. And
yeah, it's not all him.
I don't
like the L9
think,
garbage.
Yeah.
Pornstar Zillion, fucking what's the Apo run around on fucking his usernames, never been banned, never been touched, but Riot doesn't address this stuff, right? Nor does Twitch. These people having usernames like fuck. How is that something that should be allowed?
Yeah.
How does that even work? Like as a platform that's supposed to be responsible.
Yeah, no, they don't give a shit. You could go right here. You could show a whole
make money. They don't care.
You could show a whole loading screen of just like like these guys are having a team clan rally together. Like they just logged in.
Exactly. For real. Yeah, you even show the usernames of these guys.
Like, wait, what the fuck? Where the fuck are these guys? It's like they're all sitting at home with their hoods. Like, let's log in and play some League, guys. It's like Riot ain't gonna do shit.
Though.
So we've been talking about goofy stuff, and it's actually really fun, but we should probably talk about some stuff that's actually helpful
jungle
for
exists,
people.
huh?
Jungle exists, metas exist. You're playing a lot of Rengar in the jungle. I wanted to talk to you about just general, like, how do you feel about assassins in the jungle right now? How do you feel about the jungle right now? Like, where's your head at in terms of just like this season and what you think players should be trying to do?
It's been explored pretty well, but clear speed is extremely important. Pathing variety is another extremely important thing. That's something that gets a little less notice. But there's also certain champions, certain play styles, like stat balls, are very beneficial, as well as certain combinations. So like, let's say Elise, who comes to mind for you? You think of anyone off the top of your head? If an Elise jungle, who does she want to see on her team?
Oh, she wants to see like a diver, just any sort of champion that can just can push, that can get prio, so we can set up a dive.
There's one combo that comes to mind though. So it's top lane, Renekton. Renekton and Elise
got you.
is the bread and butter. It used to be like if you had an Elise and your top laner was playing Renekton, the two of you could take over, right? So you've got combos like that, like Lilia or Evelyn with a Lucian mid who can create a ton of priority. Right? If you've got those in your arsenal, in your champ pool, you can be very flexible with the rest of the players on your team and sort of create draft just winning drafts.
This concept of like, well, we've got all the lanes pushing forward and you can't leave tower, so we just get everything, and now you got to stand there and watch us hopefully not fuck up.
Now we get to yoink all of your buffs. We get to steal your whole top quadrant, and if your jungler is particularly stubborn, which they tend to be, we get to kill him too. So have fun with that. And he's going to blame you, and he's going to tilt. He's going to come running straight down to the scuttle crab on the opposite side of the map, and we're going to kill him there too. And then you're going to FF.
Yeah, this was particularly common with the Worlds last year with TSM. Remember, everyone was hyping up Bjerg in this fucking Zillion pick, and I remember, like, I don't really pay too much attention to comp play, but
I think was a counter pick into it.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it was like everybody was hyping up this pick on like forums and stuff, and because like Bjerg beat NA players with Zillion, it's amazing pick.
Zillion is insane. That's yeah.
Yeah, and I mean he is insane on the champion, but it's just not how the game works.
Player.
Yeah, it's just not how the game works. Player. You can't pick it and expect to get prio, and therefore, you know, and sure enough, that's exactly what happened at Worlds.
It's also like another example in the past was Faker's LeBlanc. If everyone knows that you are just absolutely known for this, you're going to get counterpicked because they have prep. A real coach will prepare his team for that scenario, that situation where you know it's coming. Yeah, you pick your bread and butter champ, just like it was Deft, I think, last week on his Jinx, and then again he was missing a lot of skill shots. That might be a bad example because Faker's LeBlanc, he played damn well, but they still lost because they got out drafted and out prepared. So like with the whole Zillion thing at Worlds, I think you were talking about meta. So he didn't have shove, he didn't have priority, he couldn't create priority, especially up against a counter pick, and then you're gonna lose a lot of your jungles, right? Like you're going to lose a lot of your camps. Your jungler falls behind. A 1 level, a 2 level disadvantage is going to slowly bleed across the map, and then you just get fucked.
Yeah.
Exactly. King shit. Yeah, it was Morgana mid into the Faker's LeBlanc. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a pretty tough one. That's a pretty tough one for LeBlanc. I would say that you're talking more about like priority picks like Elise, but if you're a low elo player and you're trying to play jungle right now, probably not Elise.
Let's say you're like bronze.
You're probably not
want to be
Elise.
picking like the Warwick. Warwick's always nice.
You like Warwick? I hate Warwick. I hate recommending him. Yeah, I hate recommending him.
Just the bread and butter. Well, because you don't really learn. You're kind of using the band-aid of this champion tells me, hey, this guy's low HP at top. Maybe I should run up there. Because in bronze, that guy's going to sit up at top until he dies. Yeah. Everyone in bronze is a Shinshin, right? So this guy is going to be below half health. Your Warwick, you're going to get the scent. You're going to smell some blood, and you sprint up top.
I'm glad that we...
So you mentioned Nunu. Nunu's another one that would just be... You clear stuff and you gank because they have a lot of sustain.
Yeah, I'm glad you and I disagree on something so hard. I got to the point, like initially it's funny and I'm not saying this in a way that sounds like I'm like insulting you or anything. I think that if you coached more, you would see what I'm about to say. I used to be like, oh yeah, Warwick's awesome, right? And I said the same thing. And then I started watching, because I do, you know how I do live coaching, right? Like if you've seen my
they're
stuff.
Just the
like
Band-Aid champs. I do plenty of coaching. It's the issue of like, they're not going to be learning.
Yes, you nailed it. You nailed it. It's like they get the worst habits. Yeah.
No, if you're low elo, you just want to win. You don't want to learn the game. It's like the same reason why people ask me, oh, should I build the Essence Reaver now? Should I build Essence Reaver? It's like, well, do you need the CDR? Do you need the immediate power spike of the Serpent's Fang into their shields? Mm-hmm. What do you need? But they're not asking those questions. They're not thinking of that stuff. They don't care. They just want to be told what to do and to do it.
Yeah,
for a lot of players.
Every time I try to coach it, what winds up happening is like I try to tell them what to do based on just like the rules of just like jungling. Like, hey man, like you need to be pathing this way. You need to be thinking about this. And then Warwick's dumbass set comes up, and it's like, well, I can get a kill. Yeah, it's like, well, I can get a kill.
But then after they get the kill, they don't condition the wave. Yeah. They don't push it. They don't.
Yeah.
look for counter jungle. They don't do anything. They kind of just are, they're stuck up at top now or down bot, or they went bot because they had the scent and they feed a double buff.
Yep.
And then the game's over. It's, I mean, for a lot of players in low elo, if you're jungling, literally all you have to do is practice your clear. That's it. And I that's the entire purpose of what I did this entire stupid fucking account from Giga Low Elo.
Yeah.
It was jungle only, and all I did was one jungle path, and I invaded and I killed them 99% of the time, and then I went and stole his jungle, and the game was over from there. I had a 3-level advantage off of one single flow chart.
Yeah,
That's
just
it.
like one play, like one plan. And you just have to focus on executing it smoothly, right? And I think a lot of people, I think a lot of like low elo players are looking for this like magic pill of like climbing all the time. And that was what like the boot camp concept that I made. I hadn't showed you
the pill right now.
Yeah, I hadn't showed you what I made with the boot camp. It was the idea that I put a bunch of concepts out with videos explaining that, and then these guys play the ranked games, and then after the ranked games, a thing pops up. They review themselves on how they think they did with the concept that they're working on. And like one of those concepts for junglers was just like, hey, you need to pick a person that you know has a really fast clear. And one of my coaches is his name's Phalaris, and he did, have you ever seen that spreadsheet with all the fucking clears? Where it's like all the different
I've seen
opens.
one or two of them and looked at stuff like that. I generally do the clears myself if I'm messing with jungles.
Yeah, this guy Phalaris is one of my coaches on my site, and he made like a whole spreadsheet and he had a bunch of different clears or whatever. And basically I just had the students just pick a clear, a fast one, and try to emulate it. And you know what the problem normally is these guys are like 20 seconds behind their fucking clear. Like every time without fail.
That's why they die to the invade every time. It's also why I show the exact clear. And it's Rengar, oh my god, what they did to him is just stupid as shit. His W basically one-shots camps. I don't know if you read the notes way back when they decided to do this, but his W deals a ton of bonus damage. It's similar to Darius's bleed is going to do this shit. Morgana's W is going to do this shit, right? Like it's making jungle too easy, and it's adding strength to the stupid ass role.
Yeah, it's already
Jungle's
a strong
already
role.
OP.
Yeah, no one wants to play it. No one wants to play it. That's the problem.
Well,
it's not that it's weak.
No one in low elo wants to play it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because if you're low elo playing PvE, not laning, you're a bit more aware of what's going on in chat and stuff. Whereas like if you're top or mid, your mistakes are a little less obvious to everyone, as well as people like to blame shit anyway. They're just gonna say, "Oh, JG diff." When they get
because it's
once.
easy. It's easy to blame the jungle because the jungle, in theory, could have always came to your lane.
Sure, but for a lot of these players, they don't even look at, like, let's say I leashed my jungler and then I got ganked by their jungler, but my jungler got a bot double kill. And so for me, because I'm an objective person, I'm not a dumbass, I'm gonna be like, well, I fucked up because I knew he couldn't come top and he's gonna be bot, and he even got 2 kills as compared to 1. So I think we're doing all right. But then for like idiot kids who are like just kind of queuing up just to burn time or something, I guess, I don't know. Yeah. They'll see that and then they'll be like, jungle diff, I got ganked 3 times. Jungle diff. It's like, the game's a little more complicated than simply coming to your lane and babysitting you 24/7, making sure you have fun, right? Game's about winning.
I feel like winning is almost viewed as like a tertiary goal, but it does. Here's the problem with League is I say that and people are like, that's not true. I want to win. And I'm like, well, yeah, you probably do.
You're
the
a
average player.
counterpoint.
Yeah, but well, it's not. But it's not even that. It's like even if 10% of all League players don't want to win in whatever elo, it's like
that one person deeply affects the game.
Yeah, they're the guy. They're the guy that chooses the game. Like they have chosen. Yes, they have chosen the outcome of the game, and so therefore we're in a really tricky spot now. It's like if I don't make up enough difference here for like 2 people, then we just automatically lose.
Like if I don't pop the fuck off,
if
we're
I don't
done for
crush
because
it, if
we
I don't
got
crush it.
Dingleberry trying out Kassadin support, going who knows what build.
Yeah.
I definitely feel you there regarding the for fun stuff. Culture wise, there's too much money in our server, our player space. I think it's just like if if there weren't so much money exchanging hands, it's like the Reddit astroturfing stuff. Like if there weren't so much money corrupting the sphere, the space, we'd have less issues. I also think COVID has played a big part where mental health is just at a low. People are looking for anything to, you know, pass the time or distract themselves away from a very shitty existence. And then there's also like culturally, so the Chinese player base has
Hold
a
on
very
one second. Hold on one second.
view of cheating.
I wanna interject for a second because I'm trying to do you a service here. Because what's going to happen is that when I post this video, if my editor clips the part where you talk about money exchanging hands, what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to hear that and they're going to go, this guy's a fucking conspiracy theorist.
No, that's literally the Chinese.
No, I meant
league has been canceled because of cheating and match fixing. Same with it's hit the like 4 years ago. I'd have mentioned this with proof, video proof and shit. And people be like, oh, conspiracy theorist. But now it's hit the public realm. Like everybody knows there's a lot of cheating. There's there's too much money. And that's what happens. It happens. People like you mentioned the 10% of people, if only 1% of people is just running around win trading, right? And they play 20 games a day.
That's the ladder. I agree.
That's a load of people, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you've got, for example, they fall off their one trick. They become for fun because they've been in queue for 40 minutes. They get target banned. Like Parnellix doesn't get to go Warwick, and now he's on his Tristana jungle, his 17 win rate Tristana jungle, right? And well, he doesn't want to dodge because he spent 40 minutes trying to get in this game. And you can't even
blame him. Like it sounds like we're flaming him. It's like we're not. Because it's like you can't even blame
you just want to play the game.
Yeah, at that point he's just like, dude, I'd rather die than wait again.
Exactly. you will catch me dodging this game over my dead body, you bastards.
Yeah.
It's I can't. There's any number of like things combining into this big issue of the game feels unsatisfying a lot of the times, and I think like we're sitting here bitching about it, right? I think Riot has a lot of power to fix this. Straight up, if someone gets reported by like 4 or 5 people and they very clearly were running it down, time them out for an hour. I don't even want them banned because it's like I don't think someone should lose their account simply because they had one bad game or whatever, right? That's messed up. But put them in timeout. Just say, hey man, clearly you're tilted. Something went awry today for you. Take an hour, take a break, take a walk, get off the PC. Or at least get off this account and go do something else, right?
Yeah. What about the? I was talking about Helicopter yesterday about this, and I'm curious your opinions. It would be disingenuous if I tried to pretend that what we have with the ladder right now, at least in terms of the amount of accounts, if we tried to pretend that was actually reasonable. Like there seems like there's 1 billion accounts right now in this game. And you could just log into any one account. I have at least 30 on a little spreadsheet. I'm sure since we're in the same job.
Oh yeah, I have a ton of accounts too.
Yep. And I don't think we should have those personally. And I will happily give them up.
Yeah, we should maybe have 3.
I will happily give up all my accounts, 99%. If I knew that the accounts were linked with, and this is where people start calling me a communist. If they were linked with...
Link your identity.
Yeah, link the identity. I put my face.
Korea takes this shit seriously, and they have a very, very much better ladder. Like I would absolutely agree with that. I want us to have ladder integrity. I want to know when I queue up, I'm playing with people. I know who the person is. Like having some cringy, ugly, ruining the game as well as flaming everyone in the chat because they're on Smurf number 97.
Exactly.
Trying to get a permaban or whatever goes on in their little head. If I knew that guy got punished, if I knew that Riot was doing anything about it, I would definitely, get rid of our accounts.
I will volunteer. Yeah, humans. I'll volunteer. I will level an account. I will link it to my phone. I won't be toxic. I won't say anything ever again. Like, I'm down. Like, and that's the thing is I feel like though, it sounds ridiculous to say, but I think most players that have played at high elo for a while now would agree to it, even if they were an asshole at some point in the past, just because of like a fresh start would mean so much.
Some of them are outliers to that.
Yeah.
So for chat, obviously there are exceptions. Shut up. I agree. And I think, yeah, most people would do the same. And a lot of the people, the bitterness has probably developed over time. Like you remember Nightblue, how he was, I would call him a top 3 streamer just on the whole site, period.
I mean, he still kind of is.
Back then. Nowadays, he's interacting with him is annoying as.
Yeah, but what I guess what I'm trying to say, guess what I'm trying to say.
And it has developed from the community, I think.
Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is initially, because when he started, he was obviously as educational as he was, right? But there's a lot of factors in play too. Bitterness maybe, but money talks. He knows that he doesn't have to like play that hard, right? He doesn't have to. Like,
sure, yeah, he's cemented in his line, his role or whatever, I guess. But I do think like getting for example, the alt accounts sitting there, they queue up, they get into his game, they flame him. Some people, I've seen it in his game specifically. Somebody follows him around in the jungle and just steals his shit. Of course, he's going to be bitter. That happens probably 20 times a season, right? That has happened. He's been playing since season 3. That's happened fucking 150 times at least. And that's simply like the lowest of the low. Some guy literally ruining the entire game. Then you've got the more indirect people joining his chat with alt accounts, or even just the haters joining his chat, being like, "You're washed up, Nightblue. Geez, Nightblue. Oh, that's your voice, Nightblue." Shit like that, right? People harassing him. Yeah. I think it's perfectly reasonable what he is just devolved into, right? This isn't to say he's some horrible, evil, awful person. It's more so the becoming jaded and not particularly caring as much is very reasonable. It's,
I think
when you got a bunch of assholes, who cares?
He did get the challenger though right now, didn't he? Or didn't he?
He got duo boosted by a golden glue repeatedly past like 3 seasons.
No, this year I think.
Oh, maybe. I could see that. He's not a bad player.
No,
it's
I just again I protect guests on my thing because I'm just like, be careful, because
oh, I don't care what gets so people like nothing I say will ever be used against me. It's things I don't say.
I didn't want to have a thing where it's like,
don't sweat it.
NEACE didn't tell people that Nightblue was actually challenger right now. I'm pretty sure someone told me he made challenger. I haven't seen, like I didn't look. I don't know.
Possibly. Yeah, he's always playing up in high elo. I know that.
Yeah, he plays like a billion junglers on his streams, and he gets you. See, here's the thing about Nightblue. I've already given my props to him multiple times on these because I used to hate on him. I was a big Nightblue, and you don't even really sound like you're hating him, to be fair.
There was a point where I think when he was falling out of the top spot was where he was getting tilted. He would be an asshole in game. It was very annoying to deal with.
Yeah, I used to hate. I was like, dude, this guy.
Justifiable back then.
Yeah, it's like this guy. You play with him, it's fucking torturous. And then I went to his streams a couple times, and I was like, you know what? I don't blame him.
I get it.
I don't blame him anymore. Holy shit. These guys all talking shit about him. What is this? This is awful.
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
What's the point, guys? I don't know. We could get into a whole I'm sure there will be entire PhDs dedicated to the psychology of Twitch chat.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah, you might have someone writing an excerpt.
I can see the documentary. The documentary. Like I was normal, and then I got League famous, and it's like, yeah.
No, I think he's definitely one of the where pretty much anyone who was around and watched back then knows for a fact, like he was just straight up top 3 streamers, like one of the best personalities, skill level. It's like how you mentioned Whippo earlier, where he's just got it all, right? That's what Nightblue was, straight up, just period. He was just the best.
Yeah, he was the fucking king.
The fall from grace. Same with Wings. Had a bit of that where he was top viewership, but also extremely informative, top level player. And then he had his wrist issues, right? And then he came back. I don't think he's ever really been bitter or anything like that. I think he's a very down to earth kind of guy. Probably all the working out has really gotten him to
humbled
just
him a bit. Yeah,
maybe humbled. Yeah, that'd be an aspect as well. I don't think he was ever a really big ego guy though. Like with wings, I never had that when I would run into him in game.
I don't know. I had bad experiences with him like when I started streaming, but then I met him in person and he was like super nice to me. So like, yeah, I could have just like, that's why I said humbled, because I just assumed that maybe, you know, maybe
everybody's just like that, like in person. I think it's also the monitor thing. Like
anonymity.
I swear, how do you feel about voice comms? Oh, somebody mentioned it. Yeah. How do you feel about voice comms in game in your solo queue?
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You think
don't
it would be
hear
good?
Other people talking?
You think it would be good?
I think it would be good for the community to get a sense of a human is there with you in the game.
I don't know.
It also make it a bit easier to detect the win traders and stuff because they would never join the voice comms.
I think
you don't want any squeakers.
I just don't want to hear it. I would rather just communicate with pings like I've been doing and like I've been instructing. Is I just tell everybody to just communicate with pings. Like people don't ping enough anyways. I talked to Five Fire about this a couple
people don't ping appropriately.
They don't ping enough at all, period. They ping about at 10% what they should be pinging. I watched you play just now. You ping plenty.
Yeah, sure, me. But I'm talking like I think some people, they flood the comms with nonsense.
And you don't think that would be, you don't think if we turned on a mic, they
Well, obviously in the beginning it would be like that. You have that in any team atmosphere in general where some people don't know how to use the mic. They don't know how to like, they're going to be like mentioning their cooldowns and, oh, I shouldn't have missed that. Oh, I messed that up. Oh, I did this. And after streaming for a while, yeah, I would definitely fall for that for a little bit, but then I'd get back in because I played CS as well before Dota.
Oh, you just mean like the community would have to grow into it.
Yeah, I think we'd have growing pains, but eventually it would definitely be much better than what we've got right now.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to hear music blaring in my ear and then people going jungle diff.
Well, you get that, and that makes it like lower elo. It makes it funner. Like, have you ever played in any Counter-Strike or anything like that?
I know where this is going. This is a funny argument.
You got the pub, and then you got fucking this guy playing like some kind of Russian hard style, just bumping it, and everybody's just sitting here listening to music.
Rush me.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, oh my god, what is going on in this place? I love it, dude.
Makes it fun. It feels more communal, I'd say.
Yeah, but hey, thanks so much for doing this. I'm not going to take any more of your time because I know you're streaming, and I know yeah, same, dude. I actually really enjoyed it. I think we actually see eye to eye on a lot of things. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Thanks so much. Thanks for your insight. I appreciate it. I know we didn't talk too much League, but it was still fun as hell. So thanks again, man. Have a good one.